Welcome. It's time for the news coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center in area 2 Lilongwe. My name is Falias Chizombe. Now let's have a look at our top stories. Pope Francis to preside over Holy Mass on Thanksday at Castle Demam Juvenile Prison. Ministry of Homeland Security to create other roadblocks and introduce the automated levy collection system to help fight corruption in the sector. Faith leaders intensify TB leprosy awareness amid campaigns to eliminate the disease. And in other news, Kenya prepares to launch first ever Earth observation satellite. Now, with the news and details. In less than a week after being released from Mujamini Hospital, where he was being treated for bronchitis, Pope Francis will preside over Holy Thanksday Mass at Casa de Mau Juvenile Prison and wash the feet of inmates. World leaders and the faithful across the globe grew worried for the Pope after he was suddenly hospitalized last Wednesday with breathing difficulties. He was discharged from the hospital on Saturday and has since announced that he will also preside over Palm Sunday Mass in St. Peter's Square. Tandem Zumara reading a Catholic News Agency report.
During his pontificate and his bishopric before that, Pope Francis has made it a regular tradition to celebrate Holy Thursday Mass with the imprisoned. Casa del Marmo prison was the first place the Holy Father celebrated Holy Thursday Mass as Pope just 15 days after being elected the Bishop of Rome in 2013. Casa del Marmo is a juvenile detention center that holds young male and female inmates and is located in the outskirts of Rome, only about 11 miles from Vatican City. In 2013, Pope Francis washed 12 young prisoners' feet, those of 2 girls and 10 boys, as a symbol of saying, "I am at your service." Despite last week's sickness and hospitalization, the Pope is scheduled to preside over an intense schedule of Holy Week liturgies and services.
Archbishop of Lilongwe Archdiocese, Most Reverend George Desmond Tambara, earlier today led hundreds of priests and thousands of Christians in celebrating Christmas Mass at the Archdiocese of Headquarters, Maula Cathedral in the city. The Mass was attended by hundreds of priests in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe, sisters of various congregations, and thousands of Christians. The Christmas Mass is celebrated annually during Holy Week, and the sacred oils used by all parishes in the Archdiocese over the next year to administer the sacraments of baptism, confirmation, holy orders, and the anointing of the sick are consecrated and blessed. Herbert Karanda has more in this report.
During the ceremony, the holy oils used for sacraments and rituals were blessed. Priests renewed their vows to signify total dedication. In his homily, Archbishop Tambala urged the consecrated to sharpen their ways if the Church is to meet its mission. He was referring to the act of Jesus Christ, who he said lived a righteous life regardless of the temptations he faced on earth. He said Christians need to be united in faith and always remember to put one another in prayers. the oil of catechumens, formerly known as the oil of exorcism, also used in the sacrament of baptism, and the oil of the sick, used only in the rite of the anointing of the sick. The oil of the catechumens and oil of chrism are used on Holy Saturday during the Easter Vigil for the baptism and confirmation of adults or children over the age of 10 who wish to fully enter the church. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I'm Helbert Katan.
The Minister of Homeland Security, Honorable Ken Zikalengoma, has said his ministry will continue to remove some roadblocks which he said are just being used by police officers to collect money from motorists and other road users for personal benefits. According to the minister, there is no reason to having more roadblocks if they are just going to be crowding the routes in the country and creating more room for corruption within the security force. Speaking in Parliament today as he was responding to some questions by some members of Parliament, Honorable Zikalengoma said it's high time this system of pocketing money by officers of the law in roadblocks was ended. He further indicated that his ministry will instead be introducing the automated revenue collection system at roadblocks to help in revenue collection to avoid the problem of stealing the funds when collected. Jacqueline Saidi has more in this report.
Responding to questions from Cheo West legislator Simeon Salambula, who complained of too many traffic police officers being found on the road from Luntha to Lilongwe in Parliament earlier today, Ngoma said that his ministry is addressing the issue by, among others, closing some roadblocks that are not necessary, as well as introducing automated revenue collection system at roadblocks. While acknowledging that it is indeed an issue, the minister indicated that this will in a way help to deal with corruption that some police officers are allegedly being involved in.
We have so many roadblocks that now they are becoming what we call targets for police officers. And that is not good because they are collecting money for their own benefit, for their own use. And people are complaining that the Malawi Police Service is the most corrupt service. So we want to make sure that we stamp out that corruption. And the only way we can do that is by bringing in a system that is automated. So we are bringing in what we call automated revenue collection system, whereby we want to bring in a card that will be enable to make somebody pay on the spot using a card. And that
on the issue of replacing national IDs for the Cyclone Freddy survivors, the minister said as the NRB has database of everyone who registered, the process of helping the people will be easy, saying they are already organizing themselves to go to the areas that were affected to assist the survivors.
We are already organizing ourselves, going down south to assist in the reprinting of the lost IDs, because an ID is something that will identify somebody even at the bank, hospital and some other places, and we look at it as a document that is very vital. So with the information that we already have, it will be very easy for us to retrieve the names that are given and then replace them accordingly. But we had no resources to do that, and right now we are equipped because the budget has passed and the NRB is ready to go and do the operation.
The Global Health Corps has called on the citizenry at large to help stop sexual and gender-based violence, a threat which is haunting women and girls in Malawi. In an interview with Luntha Television, GHC Country Director Simon Simkoko noted that an unacceptably high number of women and girls in the country are experiencing violence in their lives, and that a landscape analysis they conducted reveals that it is a major challenge, hence calling on concerted efforts for Malawians to end the vice. Bridget Monoga filed this report.
The most recent Malawi Demographic and Health Survey reveals that 34% of women aged between 15 and 49 reported experiencing physical violence, 14% sexual violence, and 23% emotional violence in the 12-month period preceding the survey. According to Simkoko, this suggests violence is an everyday experience for women and adolescent girls, saying they grew up with violence and too often with little opportunity to escape from those that intimidate, hurt, and scare them. He further said it is of paramount importance that Malawi at large should help reduce these cases and make the country a safe place for young women and girls.
We has continued to experience, the rise in terms of number of cases of sexual and gender-based violence. As Global Health, we did a landscape analysis and we saw it's a big challenge. And we feel like bringing together leaders will help us to really reduce these cases because it's very important. We want our girls, our women, our boys to be really safe. So it's our investment and we want to be part of that process.
On his part, Deputy Director of Gender for Gender Mainstreaming in the Ministry of Gender, Community Development and Social Welfare, Ronald Pili, acknowledged that the country is failing badly in terms of gender-based violence, as every 1 in 3 women experience physical violence.
As a country, we are failing badly in terms of SGBV because 1 in every 3 women have ever experienced forms of SGBVs. 1 in every 3 women have experienced physical violence, and the issues of child marriages is not even nice. In Malawi, 42% of our young women getting married before the age of 18, which is a very serious offense.
Global Health Echo also noted that the last few years of living with the COVID-19 pandemic have exacerbated this situation, with cases of violence increasing, especially during the closure of schools with women and girls confined to their homes, and additionally pressures of their family and working lives. This is Bridget Mwanoka for Luntha News in Lilongwe.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching our 7:30 news bulletin coming to you live from Bishop Navy Media Center in Area 2, Lilongwe. Before we proceed, let's have a look at our top stories once more. Pope Francis to preside over Holy Mass on Thursday at Castle Demam Juvenile Prison. Ministry of Homeland Security to create other roadblocks and introduce the automated levy collection system to help fight corruption in the sector. Faith leaders intensify TB leprosy awareness amid campaigns to eliminate the disease. And in other news, Kenya prepares to launch first ever Earth observation satellite. Moving on, some faith leaders in the country have revealed that they are intensifying awareness programs on tuberculosis and leprosy to help more people understand how the two diseases are spread and also how to prevent them. Father Joseph Biriat, representing the Catholic Church, and Canon Francis Takilima, representing the Anglican Church in Lilongwe, say as churches they believe in promoting well-being of their followers for the church's growth, hence a need to sensitize them to know more about the two diseases. The duo made the remarks in Salima during a 2-day biennial meeting between faith leaders and the media professionals organized by the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Elimination Program. Brad Mwanza has more in this report.
The faith leaders who are drawn from different denominations have been working with the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Elimination by 2030, as well as local targets of eliminating leprosy in all districts by 2025 with less than 1 case per 10,000 population. From Anglican Church, Canon Francis Taklima said they have done extremely well in sensitizing their church members, mainly in Lilongwe, for them to understand that there is TB and leprosy. He emphasized on leprosy that some people still take it that the disease has gone, but with it resurfacing, there is need to provide more messages about the problem.
We have a role to one, sensitize fellow members and take those who are suffering, referring them to the hospital, and also encouraging them to take drugs without stopping.
Concurring with Canon Taklima, Pastor Simon Msisia of the Malawi Assemblies of God Church said this far, some of their members have come out to get tested for TB, and others who have been found positive are getting treatment, which is a testimony that the awareness is of paramount importance. A representative of the Catholic Church, Father Joseph Biriat, said the Catholic Health Commission is also playing a vital role in ensuring that necessary support is given to all those who have been diagnosed of TB, alongside the awareness programs that the Church is conducting through different lay groups.
We want to, as much as possible, to utilize these groups to inform them, to make them aware of TB and leprosy. Through these structures, we are very sure that the messages will reach everyone in this country, mostly through different dioceses.
On his part, TB and HIV programs officer at the National Tuberculosis and Leprosy Elimination Program, Henry Kanyerere, said treatment success rate has improved for the patients who seek TB care following the increase in case detection from 2021 to 2022.
Our treatment success rate is at 90%. So for every 100 TB cases that we detect in the country, 90 of them, they are successfully treated.
A similar meeting is expected to take place from tomorrow in Zomba with other stakeholders, mostly from the southern region. For Luntha News in Salima, I am Bernard Mwanza.
Communities from the area of Sabo-TA, Matola in the Balaka district has described the mindset change enabler under the Malawi Vision 2063 as mind-opening, as most of the things that they have been taking for granted are for the community's own good. This was said during a discussion that Balaka National Initiative for Civic Education Office held with representatives from different heads under Sabo-TA, Matola, on how communities should contribute in the development plan. Led by Sabo-TA Matola, the representatives said they are now ready to put their houses in order to help the community change, as they are now aware that change begins with each person and family. Rashida Marandiga has more in this report.
On 30th March, National Initiative for Civic Education Balaka Office met the Area Development Committee in the area of Sabo-TA Matola, selling the Malawi 2063 Development Plan. District Civic Education Officer Henry Zekaria emphasized on the use of transformative leadership, starting from families by the committee members to the communities that they lead, changing people's mindsets on how they should be contributing to the country's development towards the Malawi 2063 vision. He said only visionary leaders are able to influence others in a right way, and the Malawi 2063 vision needs such leaders.
We dwelled much on the visionary and transformative leadership as to how a visionary and transformative leader can influence the achievement of Malawi 2063. So said a transformative leader or a visionary leader, he has a vision and he works towards that vision to achieve it. And he also influences the people in his or her community to follow suit.
ADC chairperson for Matola, Esnat Rijenche, said personally she has welcomed the development and will popularize it among her community members because the community is involved in agriculture production.
Kunogo kwa Matola
With the way the pillars have been explained, we might benefit from the Malawi 2063 because here we face challenges on agribusinesses, but this really shows that change is coming.
In
his remarks, Sub-DA Matola said the discussion was well-timed, as it will not only help families from the communities, but will also help the country to stop relying on international donors in the years to come.
We have now understand the vision, and we start from our families to change, so that come 2063, Malawi should be independent even from donors.
The Malawi 2063 plan is set on 3 pillars of agricultural productivity and commercialization, industrialization and urbanization, but has 7 enablers to be used in achieving the 3 pillars, and one of them being the mindset change. For Luntha TV in Balaka, this is Rashida Matandika reporting.
Indian sports, the Super League of Malawi, Sulom, has released the fixtures for the 2023 TNM Super League with some airy big matches to be played within the first week of fixtures. According to the released fixtures signed by Sulom General Secretary William Spanda, champions Nyasa Big Bullets will start defending the title against Silver Strikers on 15th April, a match to be played at Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe. Unlike in the past where the fixtures were being released in segments, this time around Sulom has released the fixtures for the whole season. King Major Kamendo has more in this report.
Nyasa Big Bullets will open their campaign on a hard test as they will be taking on one of the title challengers, Silver Strikers, away at the Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe. Since the end of last season, a lot have happened for both teams on and off the field. To begin with the Central Bankers, it will be their first competitive match under new coaching panel that is being led by the young from Netherlands, who has been trusted with the work of restoring glory back at the Central Bankers. In addition, the Bankers will be fielding in some new faces, including former Nyasa Big Bullets star midfielder Chimwemwe Idana. On the other hand, Bullets have made several new signings, including former player Mike Nkwate and the former Silver Strikers striker Maxwell Augustine Podo. In other fixtures, last season's runners-up Blue Eagles will be at home entertaining Red Lions, whereas another outstanding fixture during the first week is between mighty Mukuru Wanderers, who will be taking on Civil Service United at Kamuzu Stadium in Luntha. The Northern Region derby between Moyale Barracks and Kalonga United has also been placed to take place on the opening day of the season at Mzuzu Stadium. The new season will be officially opened on Sunday, 9th of April, with a Child Shield match to be played between the winners of the TNM Super League, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets, and Airtel Top 8 champions Mighty Mukulu Wanderers. Meanwhile, the sponsors of the Shield, NBS Bank, has announced that it has raised the sponsorship package for this year's Child Shield from 15 million kwacha to 20 million kwacha. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I am King Major Kamwendo.
Kenya is preparing to launch its first ever Earth observation satellite in what is being described as a landmark achievement in the country's space exploration efforts. National One, or Taifa One in Swahili, is scheduled to be launched next week aboard the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. Tandiwe Mzumara leading a BBC Africa news report.
According to a statement, the satellite is designed to provide Earth observation data for use in agriculture, food security, According to a statement, the satellite is designed to provide Earth observation data for use in agriculture, food security, and environmental management. It was fully designed and developed by Kenyan engineers in collaboration with a Bulgarian aerospace manufacturer. A delegation from Kenya is expected to travel to the United States for the launch. The mission is seen as a significant milestone for Kenyan scientific innovation, as the country is suffering its worst drought in decades after 5 failed rain seasons. In 2018, Kenya launched its first experimental nano-satellite from the International Space Station.
That international story concludes our today's news bulletin, but before we go, let's have a look at our top stories once more. To preside over Holy Mass on Thursday at Castle Demam Juvenile Prison. Ministry of You have been with me, Fali Susan Bay. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and goodbye for now.